Did you know that Manchester United's decision to stick with Amorim might have cost them more than just a season? The truth is, the board's reluctance to admit their mistake has plunged the club deeper into chaos. Let's break it down. I have always said that even though Rúben Amorim's capabilities are obvious and the board cannot fail to see them, they continue to support him simply to stick to the narrative that firing Erik ten Hag was the right decision. With the board and fans united in their stance, I didn't expect him to be sacked so quickly. Someone asked, is it the right time to sack him now? Firing a coach mid-season again might mean failing to find a good replacement. To answer this, we need to break it down. First, the most crucial point is this. I said from day one that hiring him was a mistake. Since it was a wrong hire, firing him is always the right move. It's just a matter of timing. This time is slightly different. Cutting ties with him sooner would have been better. Even if there aren't great alternatives available, letting him continue would only drag Manchester United deeper into trouble. Once the 3-4-3 system becomes deeply ingrained, the problems will only grow. For example, if you don't sack him, there's no money in the winter transfer window. If you trust him in the summer and continue recruiting for the 3-4-3 system, the framework solidifies further. By next season, when it's proven that the 3-4-3 doesn't work for Premier League teams, the mess will only get bigger. It's better to admit the mistakes sooner rather than doubling down and letting the snowball grow. I've always said the board supports him and gives him time, but with single-line competition and an early League Cup exit, Amorim hasn't capitalised on the opportunity. My pre-season prediction for Manchester United was at least top 3 in the first half of the season. In the second half, with physical exhaustion and injuries, performance would drop, perhaps falling from 3rd to 5th or 6th, with European competition still manageable. But now, the team has already given everything in the first half. Players have been pushed to their limits, injuries are starting to pile up, and they're stuck in 6th place. As fatigue grows and results decline, cutting ties at this stage is justifiable. This trend has been evident. Remember the post-match analysis after losing to Arsenal in the opener? I firmly stated, this would be Manchester United's best performance of the season. Many disagreed. Now that we're here, tell me, has there been a single game in the first half of the season better than the Arsenal match? The win against Liverpool was largely dominated by the opponent, almost entirely counter-attacked. It was only because Klopp foolishly switched to a 4-2-4 formation, leaving the midfield dysfunctional, that there was a turn of events. Even funnier is that Amorim has tried the same 4-2-4 structure, as seen in the 4-4 draw against Bournemouth. The win against Chelsea came after the opponent got a red card in the 5th minute. Against Arsenal, Arteta used a cautious counter-attacking strategy against the 3-4-3, which made United's performance marginally better. Another decent win against Newcastle United used a 4-man defence, not the 3-4-3. Can you name a single game where the 3-4-3 matched the momentum of the opening match? There isn't one. Back then some disagreed in YouTube comments, but many have since come back to agree. The Arsenal game was the best. Some saw hope, but I saw despair. The best performance ended in defeat, and since then, not a single game has surpassed that one, proving Amorim's inability to generate improvement, if not regression. I said before the season, the 3-4-3 would start well but end poorly. The blind spots of the 3-4-3 always lead to physical exhaustion first. 10 years ago, I predicted Conte's 3-4-3 would win the Premier League in his first season and then drop out of the top 4 the next. And it happened because the team's stamina couldn't sustain it. If I could predict it 10 years ago, why wouldn't I predict it this season? Sadly, some still haven't learned the lesson 10 years later. The real challenge is remaining neutral. When you're a fan and also a commentator, it's impossible to be completely neutral. Your perspective skews. Time gets monopolized by one team, and you lose the ability to see the bigger picture or make comparisons. I realized this 25 years ago when I was 15, and it took me 5 years to change myself, shedding my identity as a Manchester United fan to achieve today's neutrality. If you still call yourself a Manchester United fan, it's impossible to reach my level. This isn't meant to offend. but a statement based on experience. True friends tell you the truth. Many who oppose or criticize me, I consider them close friends. I don't want them to remain blinded. The echo chamber effect of social media influences club decisions, and wrong opinions can gain traction, leading to many people collectively heading in the wrong direction, like the echo chamber supporting Amorim. Some say they feel like crying at the thought of him being sacked, or that Amorim has already put Manchester United on track, so why sack him now? These viewpoints are only possible within a long-standing echo chamber. Today we break that matrix. Compare Manchester United's overall organisation with Chelsea's, and you'll see what being on track really means. Amorim supporters might not watch Chelsea, only citing statistics. So let's use statistics to break through. The teams are level on points, but in clean sheets this Premier League season, Chelsea have 8, Manchester United have 2. This reflects organisational stability. Chelsea's defensive line is individually weaker and less stable than United's, but they rely on ball control and attacking to defend. Goals conceded, Chelsea 22, Manchester United 30. You play with 5 defenders and concede more than a team playing 4. The goalkeeper situation also brings improvement. Altay Bayındır conceded 11 goals in 6 appearances, averaging 1.83 per game. Senna Lamens conceded 19 in 14 matches, averaging 1.36. Before his arrival, Manchester United were 11th, after they climbed to 6th, but often narrowly missed the top 5, with the key issue being inconsistent attacking output. Goals scored, Manchester United 34, Chelsea 33, seemingly one more for United, but breaking it down, games with 2 or more goals, both teams have 10. Games with 1 or fewer goals, also 10 each. The difference lies in games with 3 or more goals and games with no goals. United have 4 with 3+ goals, Chelsea have 3, but Chelsea won all 3, while United drew 1 4-4. More crucially, Chelsea failed to score in only 2 games, both ending 0-0. United failed to score in 3, all losses. So, despite similar points and goals, the internal differences are vast. United lose if they don't score. Chelsea can avoid defeat even without scoring. Looking at distribution, United have more games with either big wins or no goals, showing Chelsea's attacking output is more consistent across different match types. United only excel in games against opponents who don't defend compactly, struggling against organised defences. Chelsea rely on ball control to stabilise the rhythm, avoiding defeat even when they don't score. This highlights the qualitative difference in stability between a 4-man defence and the 3-4-3. The 3-4-3 can be excellent at its best, but disastrous at its worst. This volatility explains why United often fall short of the top 5. Both teams have 31 points, largely due to their head-to-head match. Chelsea played with 10 men for 5 minutes and suffered a costly red card. Losing a 6-point decisive match closed the gap in points and goal difference. In that game, United played with 10 men for 40 minutes and won only 2-1. In the second half, with both sides at 10 men, Chelsea scored. If it had been 11 versus 11 throughout, a draw would have been fair. If counted as a draw, United would have 29 points, a goal difference of +3, possibly dropping to 10th. Chelsea would remain 5th. That's how much the gap could have been. Now, cup competitions. Chelsea reached the League Cup semi-final. United were eliminated by 4th-tier Grimsby Town. Erik ten Hag won the League Cup in his first full season. Amorim was eliminated in the first round, a clear indictment of the 3-4-3's inability to dominate. This season, with single-line competition, no European games, an early League Cup exit, and a mounting injury crisis, in terms of coaching ability, Enzo Maresca is superior to Amorim. Looking at history, recent Premier League teams that used the 3-4-3 didn't last long, at best a season, because 5 defenders can't dominate or control possession. Conte succeeded briefly. Spurs didn't succeed. Xavi Hernandez won the Champions League but didn't use it long-term. Long-term use leads to injury crises because it relies on sustained high intensity. 5 defenders can be a quick fix, but over time, it becomes toxic. What's worse, These 3-4-3 coaches need immediate success in their first season, as their approach is high risk. Amorim's tenure has seen Manchester United decline further, and he hasn't won anything, proving he's among the worst in the 3-4-3 coaching circle. The sporadic past success of the 3-4-3 was because teams didn't know how to counter it. Now, after that period, everyone knows compacting against the 3-4-3 neutralizes it. Amorim only knows the 3-4-3, making him predictable. He'll continue to be targeted in the future. Do you still dare say the direction is right and on track? Some blindly support Amorim to validate the decision to sack Ten Hag. But even if Ten Hag was eventually going to be sacked, it shouldn't have been done prematurely, because hiring Amorim has been worse. They should have utilized Ten Hag's groundwork and waited for a truly elite coach. Amorim's first season ended with a Europa League final loss using the 3-4-3. Opponents had already prepared to compact against it. His narrow tactical approach proved he's not a championship-level coach. In his second season, failing to break into the top 5, any statistical progress is meaningless. Much of it is inflated, excessive long-range shots, wasted energy, injuries mounting even with single-line competition, exhausting resources before leaving behind a genuine mess. The only improvement is in set pieces, but set pieces aren't tied to the 3-4-3. The 3-4-3 is his dogma, his stubbornness, earning him the nickname New Mo Lin. Some say he switched to 5 defenders after losing with 4, and it worked. So why doesn't he change now that Manchester United are struggling with 5? They claim it's the media pressuring him to change, making him dig in. Let's delve deeper into his character and psyche. He's actually a fragile child inside. The switch to 5 defenders was luck. Immediate success made him intellectually lazy, no longer thinking, outwardly confident, inwardly terrified of returning to 4 defenders, more scared under scrutiny, hence refusing to change. Superficially tough, deeply insecure. He laughs when sacked, feeling that continuing would only worsen things, provoking conflict with the manager-coach narrative. What the board really wants to see isn't necessarily dismissing the 3-4-3, but whether he knows how to deploy a 4-3-3. He once seemingly switched to 4 defenders, but was still using a 3-4-3 framework, even trying a 4-2-4, the 4-4 draw against Bournemouth. The players are capable, they're being mismanaged. From day one, I argued that hiring Amorim was a misstep, and the longer they delayed firing him, the worse things would get. The 3-4-3 system he relies on is fundamentally flawed for Premier League football. It starts strong, but inevitably leads to exhaustion and injury crises, leaving the team in shambles. Look at the evidence. Manchester United's best performance this season was arguably against Arsenal in the opener, and it's been downhill since. Even the win against Liverpool was more about Klopp's tactical blunder than Amorim's brilliance. The 4-4 draw against Bournemouth exposed the cracks in his strategy, and injuries are mounting. Cutting ties with Amorim now isn't just justified, it's necessary. Admitting a mistake early prevents it from snowballing into a catastrophe. Compare Manchester United's trajectory with Chelsea's, and the differences are stark. Both teams are on 31 points, but Chelsea's defensive organisation is far superior, conceding fewer goals and maintaining better stability. Manchester United's reliance on the 3-4-3 has left them vulnerable, especially against compact defences. The stats don't lie. Chelsea have 8 clean sheets this season. United have just 2. This isn't just about results, it's about structure and sustainability. Amorim's inability to adapt has made him predictable, and opponents are exploiting his weaknesses. The echo chamber supporting him is filled with emotional appeals, but the facts speak for themselves. Sack him now, and Manchester United might still salvage their season. Delay and the damage could be irreversible. The board needs to act decisively, not just to correct their error, but to give the players a fighting chance. The clock is ticking. What do you think? Should Manchester United stick with Amorim, or is it time for a change? Let's discuss in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to show your support.